We're live. All right. Welcome back to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before we get started, I would like to say that if there are any children in the room under the age of 18, you would like to remove them at this time. I'm going to give you time to do that because during this video, there is going to be a considerable amount of cursing. So I would like for all the kids to be removed from the room. While you're doing that, I am going to read this, which is fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Disclaimer last updated September 7, 2017. So, we will be using videos um, in this show to give commentary on, to report, give criticism, comment. So anything we use is fair use. Any video I use, I will also put the link in the description so you can go and find the original video from the person who actually did it. Now,
Give me credit what credit is due.
we've got that out of the way.
It's finna get ugly.
Let's get to the first person we are talking about, or subject, shall we say, we are talking about today. The person that is in our background, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know there's been a lot of things said about Mr. Aaron Rodgers. So we're not going to waste your time. We're not going to hold y'all up. We right after 2 minutes, which means the cussing can start. But before then, I'm gonna give you a little backstory. We're gonna tell you, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers caught the Brown, okay? And everyone was under the impression that Aaron Rodgers had the poke because of words he said out of his own mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to show you where he said that he had that done. Like we didn't just come up with this out of anywhere. This was something Aaron told us out of his own mouth. So let's get into that, and we'll be right back. All right, let's see what Aaron Rodgers had to say.
Is this the interview what he did with who was that former player?
The
I can't.
Pat.
Pat McAfee.
No, we ain't got to that yet. We going from the beginning. I'm just gonna
Okay.
walk them right through it.
All
So
right.
this is what he said back in August when he was asked had he taken care of that situation. Here we go.
Oh,
You vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized. Um, there's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and have made statements, owners who made statements. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys. There's guys that have been vaccinated that contracted COVID. So it's an interesting issue.
Stance on
All right, let's hear it one more time.
vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized. There's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and have made statements, owners who made statements. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys.
Okay, not Aaron.
There's guys that have been vaccinated that contracted COVID.
Not Aaron.
oh
Sir.
boy.
Sir.
It gets ugly.
Now, sir, when those people asked you, what they asked you, you knew exactly what they meant. And you want to throw out the word, yeah, I've been immunized, whatever. Okay? That's what he said. That's what he said. So you know what we're going to do? That's what he said. So we're all thinking, yeah, he's taking it. He's done what he needs to do because he's
Right.
walking around just like you see him there without a mask on. You know, look, without a mask on, talking to everybody and stuff. And protocols require you, if you're not vaccinated, you're supposed to talk to the media through Zoom. You're supposed to have a mask on at all times. He was out here this past Halloween talking about he John Wick at Halloween parties. He been everywhere doing everything without a mask on, just like had he been vaccinated. And what bothers me the most about it is because a lot of people have been around Aaron Rodgers. They have they have to go back home to their families. And Aaron sitting up here because of the, I guess, quote unquote, criticism or the way that people that are that haven't gotten the stamp are labeled and looked at. He decided he didn't want to be a part of that, those labels, and he was not going to do what he was supposed to do in reference to the protocol because I guess he thinks because he's Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have to do what they tell him to do. Now, once it came out that we all found out that he was not vaccinated, all right, this is what Aaron had to say on Pat's show today in response to all the outrage of him saying that he had been, but then we come to find out that he had not been. So we're going to get into what he says, and we're going to listen, comment, because it's kind of lengthy. So let's get into it on the what is his name?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee show
Yeah.
today. Let's get into what Aaron said. We're going to go right into what he said because that's where I stopped it at. And we'll be back to talk about it. All right, here we go.
Make decisions that you think are in your best interest. I think it's crazy to have these mandates. Obviously, there's been people that stand up to them and pushing back against them, whether it's airlines or some of the municipal workers.
Hold on, let me go back to more when he started. All the way back. Right there. This is about right there.
Good thing
Hey,
that's
Jay,
marketing.
Did you just ask me to get a Bills color dildo? What is going
Yes.
on
A
here?
dildo.
No, I said
He
dildo.
does- he's not
I know. Absolutely not.
these people.
Pants and jumping through flaming.
So this conversation, I think, we got in there a little bit. Like, you can disagree with me, but this is, I have an allergy for 2 of NFL games that
Okay,
you're like, hey, Steve,
And if you're
there it is.
not allowed to have this.
Go back.
been out there as well, involved some draconian.
You are with your time potentially saying that in jest. We do. It's the way he looks while smoking. Reasons for everything that we're hearing about right now.
Okay, here we go.
So I appreciate you so much for this incredible honor that we have to potentially allow you to have a platform and a floor to explain your side of this whole thing. And I can't wait to hear it. We're incredibly lucky for it. The floor is yours, Mr. Rodgers.
Fair use. Fair use.
Thank you, buddy.
Good water. Good water drink. It's going to be a long one.
I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob right now. So before my final name,
Okay, so what is the woke mob?
I have no
Who
idea. I
is
never,
the woke mob?
um,
Okay,
I haven't heard of that.
let's let them continue.
Ale gets put in my cancel culture casket, I think I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies that are out there about myself right now.
Ooh, it's about talking about lies.
And I appreciate the opportunity to tell my side of the story on here. First of all, I didn't lie in the initial press conference. During that time, it was a very, witch hunt that was going on across the league, where everybody in the media was so concerned about who was vaccinated and who wasn't, and what that meant, and who was being selfish, and who would talk about it, and what it meant if they said it's a personal decision. They shouldn't have to disclose their own medical information and whatnot. And at the time, my plan was to say that I've been immunized. It wasn't some sort of ruse or lie. It was the truth. And I'll get into the whole immunization in a second. But had there been a follow-up to my statement that I've been immunized, I would have responded with this. I would have said, look, I'm not, some sort of anti-vax flat earther. I am somebody who's a critical thinker. You guys know me. I march to the beat of my own drum. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed, group of individuals who say you have to do something. Health is not a one-size-fits-all for everybody. And for me, it involved a lot of study in the off season, much like the study I put into hosting Jeopardy or the weekly study I put into playing a game. I put a lot of time and energy and research and met with a lot of different people in the medical field to get the most information about the vaccines before making a decision. And in actuality, it was pretty easy in the beginning to eliminate 2 of them. And it didn't involve going into the questionable history of some of their criminal activities, some fraud cases, or any of that stuff.
Now listen, criminal activity and fraud cases. Okay, Aaron. All right, Aaron. I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna let you finish, Aaron. I'm gonna let you finish.
It's getting good.
I'm gonna let you finish. Okay, let's let him finish.
All right.
Stuff. It was simply the fact that I have an allergy to an ingredient that's in the mRNA vaccines. So on the CDC's own website, it says, should you have an allergy to any of the ingredients, you should not get one of the mRNA vaccines. So those 2 were out already. So my only option was Johnson & Johnson. At this time, in the early spring, I had heard of multiple people who had adverse events around getting the J&J. Nothing that was no deaths or anything, but just some really difficult times and physical abnormalities around the J&J shot. And then in mid-April, the J&J shot got pulled for clotting issues, if you remember that.
Okay, Aaron, I gotta stop you right there. Aaron, when you gave this press conference that I just showed, that was in August, Aaron. August. You're talking about what happened in March and April and all this, but when they asked you the question they asked you, if I'm not mistaken, they had to, straighten all that stuff out, and there was a very low percentage of people that had that problem. That also had other health problems that, attributed to having that problem.
Right. You know what?
But okay, Aaron, you talking about March and April. When we talking about what you said, it was in August when you said it. But you say you weren't lying. All right, let's go.
That, right?
Let me see, did you get
so the J&J shot was not even an option at that point. So then my options became, okay, what can I do to protect myself and my teammates if there's not one of the big 3 options for me in my own body? And so I looked into and talked again to a lot of medical individuals and professionals and found that there was an immunization protocol that I could go to best protect myself and my teammates. And it was a long-term protocol that involved, multiple months. And I'm very, proud of the research that went into that. The individuals that I met with, and we felt like it was what was best for me. It was not, again, something that the league didn't know about. The league was fully aware of it upon my return to the Packers. And it was at that point that I petitioned them to accept my immunization status as under their vaccination protocol. Now, at the time, they had only had the big 3 was what they're going to do. And if you weren't in the vaccinated category, you were you were in a different category, which involved some draconian measures and protocols that you would have to adhere to, which in my opinion were not based on science. We're more based in a shame-based environment to try and get as many guys to get vaccinated as possible so that the league looks better to the rest of the world. That was the focus of these, protocols, which I'll get into when I finish this diatribe here about the petition. So I petitioned the league. Initially, they returned and said, no, you'll be in the unvaccinated category. And I also said, how come there's no exemptions for medical exemptions, religious exemptions, pre-existing conditions? And they basically said, look, those are all basically exempted, but you would be put in the non-vaccinated category. And I'll get into what that meant from a scheduling standpoint shortly, but there wasn't any way of getting around that in their mind. So after they came back and said, no, you're unvaxxed, I said, okay, I'm going to appeal this. And so we went through the process, which was a multi-week process, where I asked them for time to gather information. I gathered over 500 pages of research on the efficacy of immunizations, all the latest research surrounding my case, everything from mask wearing to the efficacy of the vaccines and the duration of the antibodies, just all the latest research, right, that I was getting from my medical team. And in that process, we had many conversations. I enjoyed the conversation with the league. It was good sharing. But one in particular stood out when I knew I was not going to win this. I had a meeting, and they said, one of the main docs said, it's impossible for a vaccinated person to get COVID or spread COVID.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Aaron. Aaron, you do not live in a bubble, and you know better than that.
I know, right? That's crazy, man.
Anybody know what people get vaccines for? It's not saying that, oh, you get this. It's just saying if you do happen to get it, it won't be as bad on you had you not gotten vaccinated. Doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Who said? Okay, Aaron. Okay, we'll check with NFL later to see if they have a comment on what Aaron said they told me. Let's let him finish.
And at that point, I knew that I was definitely not going to win the appeal, and it was very shortly thereafter that denied, which we know now that information is totally false that was given to me. My desire to immunize myself was what was best for my body, and that's why this is so important to me. My medical team advised me that the danger I began to get of an adverse event could get and recovering. So I made a decision that was in the best interest of my body. Not telling somebody to not get vaccinated or to get vaccinated. I think you should do what's in the best interest of your body. If you're scared of COVID, or if you have comorbidities, then getting vaccinated is probably in your best option. But if you have immunocompromised system, or if you have pre-existing conditions, then make the decision that's in your best interest. And that's what I did. I made the decision that was in my best interest. And the other part to it is that, and I've talked about this on the show before, but the next great chapter in my life, I believe, is being a father. And it's something that I care about a lot. And to my knowledge, there's been 0 long-term studies around sterility or fertility issues around the vaccines. So that was definitely.
Now he's saying that there has
It
been
makes you
no
sterile
studies
and all that stuff.
around whether he gonna be sterile or not from using it. Woo, okay, Aaron.
It
Continue. Let me know all your concerns.
Something that I was worried about, and that went through my mind. Now, obviously, having an allergy to an ingredient, it took me off of being able to take the mRNA anyway. But that, even if I didn't have that, that would be something that would give me a little bit of pause, because we don't know what the long-term effects of these are. There's still clinical trials going on through 2023. So just like when people just say, "Oh, just get the jab, just get the jab." Well, first of all, everybody's body is different, number one, and second of all, there's a lot of things we don't know about this. So that's just one thing I really want to stress there. And again, the organization knew exactly what my status was. My teammates knew exactly what my status was. There was nothing that was hidden. During the time of preseason was during the time of the appeal. I thought actually at various times I was going to win the appeal. And I think that people said I didn't wear a mask during the preseason. But I mean, some of the rules to me are not based in science at all. They're based purely in trying to out and shame people, like needing to wear a mask at a podium when every person in the room is vaccinated and wearing a mask makes no sense to me. If you got vaccinated to protect yourself from a virus that I don't have as an unvaccinated individual, then why are you worried about anything that I can give you? And let me hit on protocols now, because that's obviously been out there as well. I have followed every single protocol to a T, minus that one I just mentioned, which makes absolutely no sense to me. But my daily routine is the routine of an unvaccinated person, which is I have to test early before starting the season. Vaccinated people test once every 2 weeks, non-vaccinated once a day, which, again, that's not based in science at all. You can have vaccinated people who actually carry and spread the virus, not testing for 2 weeks, and non-vaccinated people are the safest people in the building because we're the ones who are testing every single day and wearing masks the entire time. But instead, we're being made to think that we're the dangerous ones, we're the super spreaders, when in fact we're the most in touch with our body every single day. But these protocols that we've had to go through a test every single day, 5 a.m. on noon games as well, which I don't understand why 5 a.m., but 5 a.m. in the morning on noon games. You test in the morning, and before you can go in the facility, you got to wait in your car for 30 to 40 minutes until they give you the okay to go in. Non-vaccinated or vaccinated people test and just go right in. So we had somebody test the other day. Vaccinated person tests, goes in, has breakfast, test positive. And then, oh shit, bummer, he just had breakfast with 5 people. Wait in my car, mask every day in the facility. So I mask up every single day in the facility. Physically distanced from everybody else. I have major travel restrictions, so I can't leave the hotel. Can't have dinner with teammates, even though I tested negative that morning to even get on the flight. The only people I see at the hotel are vaccinated people.
Good catch. Happy that COVID hasn't caught your instincts.
Yeah. Only people I see at the hotel are vaccinated people. But I have to wear a mask the entire time. I can't see anybody. Can't see anybody after the game. I work out off to the side in the weight room in a mask. Again, there's many studies about the efficacy of masks for workouts or the higher levels of CO2 inhaled during workouts and how it affects performance and body function. Not allowed to use the sauna or the steam room. I have to wear a yellow wristband at all times, basically shouting to the world, I'm uncleaned and unvaxxed. And in this situation now, I'm 10 days off regardless of tests or symptoms. So I'm sitting here 2 days in. I had some symptoms Tuesday night, tested positive Wednesday morning. Didn't feel great yesterday. I'll get into what I've been doing, but I feel really good today. This is Friday.
It is.
But 10 days off regardless, where a vaccinated person just has to have 2 back-to-back negative tests. When it comes to the science again for non-vaccinated, it came up last week because Alan Lazard was a close contact to Devontae Adams, and Alan is not vaxxed, and yeah, they obviously tried to cancel him for that. But they also didn't bring up the fact that he tested negative every single day. So just because he was close contact and not vaxxed, this is what the league has done: is they've made it, hard for people, to have a decision because you're close contact. That means you're out for 5 days. Not based on any science, other than we're going to just keep this propaganda narrative going that unvaccinated people are the most dangerous people in society. So, and again,
Can I ask some questions here now?
let me finish up here. I'm almost
Got
done.
it. Got it.
I just want to say, that is what the media has been trying to do. They're trying to.
Okay. Okay, Aaron. I have had about all of Aaron I can take. I cannot take any more of that. I'm gonna let you, speak your little piece, and then I'm going to, throw my little change in.
I was
I'm just
tripping
gonna take a little
off.
smoke break. That's all.
I was tripping off of when the interview before the interview began, and old boy Pat McAfee was like, he sounded like he was like, I don't know, being some kind of sarcastic,
Yeah.
sarcastic or something. Like, okay, let's hear. When he was
Yeah.
introduced, I'm like,
Tell
man,
him
this
to
dude,
get his side, because he wanted to be like,
yeah,
let's see what you gotta say.
man. You know what? I'm
It's something
pro-choice.
I want to say that he sound like. He sound
Yeah,
like them people. Them
right,
people.
right,
The 2016 people.
right. I just, you know what? I'm a pro-life person, man. You do what you want to do with your body. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But if you in an organization like the NFL, Green Bay Packers, and you're required to be vaccinated for your job purposes, you know what I'm saying? How do you? I guess I would say it has to be done. You saying if you want to continue your career there,
Yeah.
like I guess what I'm trying to say is how do you handle this if how do you handle it if a player decides that he don't want to get vaccinated? What do you do? It's not. I'm saying he a player like Aaron Rodgers, he's putting up big numbers. He's winning. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. So there would be no reason to cut him. But if he don't take this test, you know what I'm saying? If he don't take
Yeah.
this test, what is to come of him not taking it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I I just at a loss of words the way with all this that's going on. Oh my God, this girl.
And so, along with that, because I really can't get into all of everything he said because it became a little redundant, a little annoying, a little Trumpism like, and it was becoming a little too much for me
Right.
because a lot of things that he's saying is untrue. I want everyone out there who can hear the sound of my voice to listen to me. If you are unvaccinated, no one is saying you're a super spreader. If there are medical reasons that keep you from vaccinated, that's fine. People understand that. But what he's sitting up there trying to make people feel like and make it seem like people that are vaccinated have a higher chance of not contacting the virus. That is the point of getting the vaccine, to make your chances of not getting it higher. Okay? So if you are vaccinated and you have not had it, well, then why would you want to sit around someone who has not been vaccinated and their chances are much lower it's for them to get it than it is you? I mean, and then he don't want to wear a mask. Talking about working out in the mask and all this.
It's it's something that he said. I can't remember what he said. It read Trump all across it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
What was that he said? Witch hunt.
yeah,
You talking about
witch
witch
hunt
hunt?
through the league about who vaccinated and who ain't. What?
Man, I he's supposed to be vaccinated. He's supposed to got that, but yet here he go lying. But I think he lying about being allergic to something that's in it. I think he lying about that. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna tell you
But
something. We
all
got
it just has to
a
come.
comment from the NFL about what
Mhm.
he said the doctors told him,
Yeah.
and from the NFL on Aaron Rodgers regarding the claim a doctor said vaccinated can't get spread COVID. No doctor from the league or the joint NFLPA infectious disease consultants communicated with the player. If they had, they certainly would not have said anything like that.
Mhm.
So Aaron Rodgers, you still out here lying.
That what it sound like. Big time.
Them folks said they ain't told you that.
Big time. But it's going. The truth shall set you free. It's gonna come to the light. I'm telling you. It's
But
all gonna boil
talk
down.
about everybody. No, we didn't know. We thought you were because that's what you
That's
said.
what you said.
And
We
you
can't.
know that drug that they use, I think, for animals or something. How about he been taking that? That's what Aaron
What?
Rodgers been doing instead. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what he's been doing.
Well, we can
But
only go.
I
We can only
I,
go by
I
what he
hope they
said.
find him because he did admit that he don't be wearing masks. We already seen that for our own self
Right.
wearing one.
Right.
They need to suspend him and do just like they was doing to everybody else that was getting all these fines. Fine him the same way. Matter of fact, he need to
Exactly.
be sit down for the rest of the season.
They shit.
And then out here,
Then
putting out all these false narratives and stuff.
man, Green Bay's on the road. You think they're gonna sit that man out for the rest of the season?
Listen,
I can't see that happening.
I can see him being suspended. And then considering how long he been doing all this, and they already asked for the videos so they can see every time he was not following protocol. And he just sat there and said he didn't see the point of wearing no mask. So okay.
Well, I'm putting it
He
like
ain't
this.
bigger. He ain't bigger than the owner.
That's true.
Because they already said if teams cannot do what they need to do, you will be fined. Nobody will get paid, and you will have to pay the other team's salaries. So guess what his owner gonna do? Jordan
Mhm.
Love play good this weekend. I already know what's gonna
Oh
happen
boy.
there. You is going to be the main one since you so outspoken. You speak your mind and this and that instead of like they tell some of the ones that's our color do shut up and play ball.
Right. Right.
That's what you should have done because guess what? That owner is not going to be paying out all that money for
Because of
stuff
his
you done did.
bullshit. Mm.
Nothing happened, Aaron. I really hate it for you. I really hate you thought that was going to go down like that. But let's get to your boy, your friend.
Uh-oh.
This is definitely one of your friends right here. You know what I'm saying?
Who
Because
me?
it don't matter. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. Let's get to
Oh,
one of Aaron Rodgers' friends. Because boy, he
I
didn't
see
have that
all.
much energy for you.
I
You
see
know,
all forehead.
I know, right? He have a whole lot of energy for you. So let's get to what Stephen A. had to say about Aaron Rodgers.
Hmm.
Let's get to that because I want to see did he keep that same energy that he had with Kyrie
Yeah.
and Andrew Wiggins. Let's see, does he have that same energy? We need to see that. So here we go.
I
Fair
did watch this earlier.
use.
This is an ignorant question, but I've just found myself curious about it. It said that right now it's only Aaron Rodgers. There's been no contact tracing. He's the quarterback. They just finished playing the game. He was around everybody. There's no contact tracing at all. That's what they're saying.
They're doing the contact tracing. I'm just telling you that as of this morning, Stephen A., nobody else has been doing a close contact. That doesn't mean that somebody can't be doing the close contact later today, tomorrow, this week, that somebody else can test positive. Again, clearly the virus is going through the Packers organization. The defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, didn't make the trip to Arizona last week. He had the virus. So there are people there that have gotten it, and I can't tell you how it's going to play out later today or tomorrow. As of this moment right now, there are no other positive tests and no other close contacts. But it's also the player's day off, and sometimes those who are unvaccinated are testing at home. So we don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah. But the NFL has done an exceptional job this season, and we just want everybody to be healthy, and hopefully Aaron will be back on the field soon. Adam, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll continue to chat with you as more information comes in.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right.
Okay. Keyshawn, one thing that he said that I found very interesting is we talked about, and I know Kimberly Martin with us earlier was joking, like, one game, it's still a big deal. You guys are saying one game, much ado about nothing, but he could potentially miss the Packers game also.
You mean
and
the
these
Seattle
are
game?
Excuse me. Yes, the Seattle game. So it's Chiefs and then Seahawks. Things get a little different then.
Yeah, the good thing about it is Jordan Love. Let's just assume that he has to miss the Seattle game too.
Okay.
The good thing is Jordan Love will have some snaps underneath his belt, so he too will have now 2 weeks with the first team in reps. And as long as you
hold on, let's go back.
Such that it can always find close to today's game. Now, if he were to test positive before the game, so we see this shift. If you remember, but right now you've got Kurt Bankert out, you've got Aaron Rodgers out, so Jordan Love is the only positive. The Packers out the day before reps in practice, but Jordan Love.
You think that they would try and sign somebody as soon as possible now that they know that Aaron's not going to play?
Oh, they probably knows the system to some degree.
Adam Schefter, appreciate you being on the show, buddy.
Okay.
Please forgive me if this is an ignorant question, but I've just found myself curious about it. It said that right now it's only Aaron Rodgers. There's been no contact tracing. He's the quarterback. They just finished playing the game. He was around everybody. There's no contact tracing at all. That's what they're saying?
They're doing the contact tracing. I'm just telling you that as of this morning, Stephen A., nobody else has been deemed a close contact. That doesn't mean that somebody can't be deemed a close contact later today, tomorrow.
Because we certainly wish him nothing but the best, hope for a speedy recovery on this part, hoping that nobody else gets COVID.
Yeah.
All right. Having said all of that, I'm very interested and curious to see the Green Bay Packers without him. I love the fact that Jordan Love is going to be in that start line with a couple of these receivers, at least a couple of them back.
Yeah.
I want to see. Because now
it will look different to you to start with, Stephen A.
What you think?
No, I'm saying the way
Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love.
Yeah, the way they gonna call.
But just look how calm and stuff he is. Well, let's see him talking over here. Let's see him talking over here about Andrew Wiggins. And let's see that he had that same sentiment. No, we're going to go to Kyrie. Let's go to Kyrie. Let's see what he was saying about Kyrie. Let's see what did Stephen A. have to say about Kyrie. Let's see.
With that said, your position is that you're going to step in and compromise the championship aspirations of an organization you signed on to represent. You coached Kevin Durant in the signing on to represent. You played the role of coaching James Harden into signing on to represent. You're going to compromise all of that because you want to give a voice to the voiceless. And how is that going to work out for you, Kyrie Irving? You're going to disappear from the game of basketball? Who the hell is going to be interested in what you have to say when you have proven that you can't even be trusted enough to do your damn job? A job you volunteered for. This ain't the military you drafted. You chose to play basketball. You chose to enter the NBA. You chose to sign that contract as a free agent to go to the Brooklyn Nets.
You chose Brooklyn as your destination. You chose the next franchise to represent. You asked KD and James Harden to come on board with you in Brooklyn to establish your own legacy, and then you leave them hanging. Because of what exactly? Your own individual principle? I am not calling Kyrie Irving stupid. Kyrie Irving, I happen to believe, is an intelligent brother whose heart is in the right place. But now you've regressed to an alarming level of self-righteousness. It not only makes you look hypocritical and untrustworthy, it makes you look what I know you are not, which is flat out stupid. It's the stupidest thing that I think I've encountered with NBA players. You're gonna sit up there and not play and not take a vaccine that evidently it's not you. You don't have a problem with it according to the reports. You just want to give a voice to the voiceless? Really? You know what? I'm going to stop myself smiling.
Let me say something.
What is this? Isn't that old Stephen A?
He's showing out, don't he?
He is showing out, talking about Kyrie. Now let's see, what did he have to say about Andrew Wiggins in this same situation? Because he had something to say about him too. So let's see what he has to say about him.
Stopped March 11th last year because of COVID. Restarted in January. That's 4 months. That's 4 months right there. This is before the vaccine came out. But you had 4 months to do some research. Then after that, there was bubble play from late July to October. Then you had 2 more months before last season happened. And then you had last season that went from December to July. You play basketball for a living. How much time do you need to research? That's number one. Then you got these guys with the privacy thing. Well, listen to this. I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't have a right to look at your medical records and see your medical history. No, I'm not saying that. But if you can contaminate me with COVID,
I need to know.
I do have a right to know.
Fair point.
If you vaccinated or not. I got a right to know that. We're not asking about anything else. We're asking about COVID and COVID only. That's number two. Number three, Andrew Wiggins, even though he could ball, he's the quietest number one overall pick that I've encountered in recent memory. You get paid $31 million. Kyrie, you're getting 35. I will remind everybody, this is the same Kyrie that is a member of the National Basketball Players Association. He's a vice president.
Vice president.
Okay.
Just listen. But I'm going to let you see one more video. And this one is where him and Jay Williams got into it about how he, didn't really want to get into being that hard on Aaron Rodgers and versus how he wanted to talk about Kyrie. So we're going to get into this right here. Show this one. And then we're going to talk about Stephen A, because I have some questions for Stephen.
Did you read the bottom of that last video where it's talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar saying that people should be removed from the team if they don't want to get vaccinated?
Yeah, I've heard him say that. All right, let's get into
standard for Kyrie Irving versus Aaron Rodgers on their unvaccination status. Stephen A, we'll start with you.
First of all, what I would say to my brother Jay, who I love, is this. You know what? You can stop being that damn sensitive when it comes to Kyrie Irving, because you ain't got too much sympathy. You ain't got too much sympathy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Nobody has let Aaron Rodgers off the hook. It just happened. It just happened. Mm-hmm. This is the first day we've all had an opportunity to talk about it. And damn it, before he's had a chance to pass gas, we said, yo, you a liar. And people are speculating, we got to find out the protocols because it looked like you should be suspended. I mean, damn, it just happened. That's number one. And the heat ain't going to subside. They going to come at Aaron Rodgers because millions of people are offended by what he tried to pull. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Kyrie Irving. Let's get back to him. Because you see, I'm getting sick of all of the noise about Kyrie Irving. He the victim. He the victim.
I've never called Kyrie
I
Irving
didn't
a
say you
victim.
did. I didn't say you did. Just like you weren't talking about me, I'm not talking about you
Okay,
directly. But that,
yep.
there's a lot of people saying that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And here's the reason why. Kyrie is a showstopper. Kyrie's box office, spectacular. Damn it, they miss him. Let's call it what it is. Brooklyn ain't the same without him. I've said before, and I said it again, they in Brooklyn because of him, which you know. And as a result, they're a championship contender. We all know. We talk about it. By the way, you and I are going to talk about Golden State Warriors one day. I think the Warriors going to win it all. I think the Warriors going to win it all. But we'll talk about that another day. If one team is going to stop him, it's Brooklyn with Kyrie. Without Kyrie, it's going to be a bigger challenge. Harden's got to play better. We know all of that. But you possibly costing this team. Possibly costing this team. A team you put together. And the reason why I won't let you ignore history, I'm going to go back to last year. There was a riot at the U.S. Capitol. Kyrie used that as an excuse to take off 2 weeks. Now, when are we going to stop making excuses? I mean, this is ridiculous. There's a riot at the U.S. Capitol. You were working. I was working. You were on the air with me. Max was sitting right there. Everybody was working. Business is business. You weren't at the riots. You weren't on Capitol Hill. Every damn time you turn around, there is an excuse for this man not to work. That is what I said. People have called me in defense of him. People who love him very dearly and respect him. And because I love and respect them, I laid off. But I also made sure to make it very, very clear to them. I mean what I say, because I ain't talking about the vaccine. Because I understand. Listen, I had reservations about it. I took it. You had reservations about it. You took it. Millions of people, these people, the Nets had reservations about it. They took it. But he want to stand his ground. Respect, okay, you have a right to do that. We can dislike it when you take into account the other things you did to put things in place where people felt compelled to make these sacrifices because of the commitments that preceded all of this pandemic stuff. And so here we are once again, Kyrie doing things his way at the expense of other people.
Ooh,
He's
boy.
done it before.
Tell me about
An
it.
entirely different situation because you put something into your body, which is
They
something
did the
that
same
you've
thing
articulated
Aaron
to me.
Rodgers
But I am
did.
saying to you, your point would
Yep.
be far more profound if there wasn't a history
Okay.
of Kyrie Irving as
That's
a
fair.
backdrop to show
That's fair.
this man finds multiple excuses
I hear you.
not to fulfill his responsibility.
Can I get in there?
Go ahead.
Can I have a single shot?
Sure.
Can I request a single shot like you for a second?
Sure.
I want everybody to know Stephen A. Smith is the best in the game of television. He is the best in the game of television. I wanted to say that first off, S.A., because I watched you when you opened the show. I know who you are. I know when you get passionate about things. I know when you say things with conviction. Your opening line of the show was, Aaron Rodgers, my guy, man, and this, it's tough. It's my guy. He's a liar. So it's not just what you say, because you did call him a liar, but brother, how you say things matter. So when I hear you spit venom with energy and passion, and when I hear you say that he's a liar, I wouldn't have said it like that. Because if I put myself in Stephen A. Smith's body, I would have said he looked people in the eye and he lied. He flat out lied. He said, yes, I am immunized. I am. And then I feel, I understand people, those guys, not referring to himself as one of those guys, he was one of those guys. So that energy that you start a conversation with, it matters to people like me. Because know why? You set the tone for this network, for thousands of people that watch you. I think that's important. Can you understand that point? That's
Yes,
one.
okay.
Number
Yes, okay.
two, on the Kyrie Irving stuff. Kyrie Irving didn't even say anything for the longest time. He didn't say anything. This man just disappeared. And every day, it was Kyrie this, Kyrie that, Kyrie this, Kyrie that. And I get it, when he finally spoke, he didn't have the right words. It didn't come out the right way. But damn, the intent was there. So now my thing is, when I'm watching this, and I'm watching all this other stuff happen, here I was, I watched a man that came out and flat out lied. With intent. Lied. This is how I feel. And I watched Kyrie kind of waver, go back and forth. I'm like, but man, we just chastised this dude for wavering, but this man is lying. And I just want to make sure we keep the same energy. That's all I ask for. I want the same, I want exponential energy, actually. I want more energy than what you gave Kyrie, because that's deserving of it. I just want to make sure you carry it. Could you carry that torch, brother?
Well, a couple.
You carry that torch.
Well, a couple of things. Yeah, okay.
Now, Let's give a round of applause for Jay. He read Stephen
He
A.
read
Smith for his life. Okay?
He did that. He
He
did that.
read Stephen A. for his life. He said everything that everybody else been saying on
Yep.
Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Instagram, wherever you view your social media. They say the same thing about Stephen A. When it comes to his own color, his own skin folks, as they say,
Yeah.
he don't have he have the most venomous energy that he could possibly have. He says the most nastiest things about people when they're his own skin folk. But just like Jay said, when it became the other folk, look at his energy.
Right.
Look at his energy. So when Stephen A speak, I can't respect you simply because you don't speak for us.
The boy
You
is
speak
cooning
for
tough.
them.
He's cooning real tough, man. And he's making himself look bad. He act like people don't see this, man. He's cooning.
He
That's what
said,
he's doing.
Jay read him for a film because that's exactly what he did. He said the energy should be higher, as a matter of fact, than what you have for Kyrie because he came out his straight lie with intent. Exactly.
What's wrong with the people, man?
What's
I don't
wrong
understand.
with Stephen A?
He coned it, man. I'm telling you, his hairline that went back too far, and his forehead freeze, and he is clouding his thoughts. Got to be some reason. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not giving him anything.
Something's wrong with
Fuck Stephen A. Smith.
something going on in that forehead of his.
Fuck him. I'm so glad goddamn Kwame Brown and everybody else be reading the fuck out of him because he deserved it. Fuck you, Stephen A. Smith. And I don't give a fuck if you block me. Still fuck you.
And you heard it from here.
Because that's some fuck shit you did.
Yeah, it is, man.
Up here, well, my God, he lied. Well, it's just one game, man. But you ain't said nothing about how he sat up there in August and lied and act like he had it, like he was walking around just like everybody else that had it, and he had not.
Right.
And he knew he had not. And you knew that everybody else thought he had not too. And now it's just running around the facility and don't know how it got there.
I tell you what, man. Stephen A. made a real ass of him. He didn't make. He's making a whole ass of himself.
He is an ass.
So he's gonna. He's gonna be. He ain't got that energy when he talking about, Aaron Rodgers. But when the black man, do the same thing, as
it wasn't even as close, like he said. Kyrie wasn't even saying that.
Right, and
he said it was Kyrie this, Kyrie that.
I mean, this guy is something else, man. He is something fucking else, and I just don't understand how can you sit there knowing what the hell you doing and just be cool with it
for a check,
right?
For a check, cool. He just went on and sold his blackness on off, along with his hairline for a check
on live TV.
On live TV. Let me get him off my screen. That's our last subject of the day.
So let me ask you about. Did you hit him up on Twitter?
Not yet, but I plan on
that finger itching. That finger twitching.
I want to share this video with him to let him know that he's trash.
All right,
let's talk about one of my favorite wide receivers.
Oh boy,
OBJ Jr. So Junior ain't really said too much of nothing. Ever since his dad did what he did, he still was showing up at practice. They were telling Junior, no. You can go home, sir. Your services are no longer needed. He showed up again. No. The services still no longer needed. Matter of fact, we're working with your agent right now to restructure this contract so we can let you go.
But Well, I'm not watching. I think it might have been NFL Network. They said that he asked to be released.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't seen him, like on social media or nothing like that, or like Aaron Rodgers out here just talking, 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 talking.
Right, right, right.
You know, so I really haven't. But his dad said what he said. He said what he said. You know,
I tell
he
you what.
shared that video and said what he said.
I tell you what. Whoever picks him up is
Ooh,
going.
he finna cut up
Yes, he's going to cut up. He's going to take that team far. I guarantee you. If he get with a team with a good quarterback.
quarterback.
Yes.
Everybody is saying Las Vegas, and then it seems that Arthur Smith does have an interest. Because think about it, Calvin.
Ooh,
They done put
that you
Calvin.
know.
They done put Calvin on personal IR.
Ooh, that
So
man, Atlanta be a
Russell
good spot
Gage
for him.
injured and all that.
Man,
Arthur trying to, work some magic. So I hope Arthur gonna do that. I didn't even think about us, but then, see, ain't nobody been
right,
talking about us. They been talking about the Rams and
right. Rams trying to stack
Vegas
up.
and all that and
They
stuff.
trying to stack up, but man, he would make a good addition to Atlanta. I didn't think about it either.
Because right now, our wideout situation is ugly.
Ooh, it's Ugg and Lee, I tell you.
Yeah. So
But Arthur Blank ought to
he need to
pull them
cut that
strings,
check.
man. Yes, he need to. If they want to turn this season around, I think
And then it ain't that much to
OBJ
turn
would do
around.
it.
The killer part about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying. I mean, you add more wins and things, and then like y'all would lose in the last minute. You know what I'm saying? That would
Yeah,
with OBJ that would cut that out. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because he
OBJ
gonna
would
be
cut that out
wide open,
wide open.
and
Give
Matt
Matt
Ryan gonna see him.
give Matt. I'm telling you, he gonna give Matt Ryan that target that's gonna change y'all's
Yeah,
game
cause see,
around.
he used to have Julio, but Julio started being injury prone.
Yeah, yeah,
And so then we thought it was gonna be Calvin. Then we thought it was gonna be
yeah.
Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts can't catch all the balls. And then they've been using Cordell Patterson to run, so I don't know if he's gonna be a wide receiver or a running back.
I think they have to keep using the way they're using him, and they add OBJ. Man, that's gonna solidify Atlanta in moving ahead and probably even going to the playoffs. Man, I mean
If
Matt
we get
Ryan
him
is
and Matt Ryan start throwing like he got some sense and our offensive line
yeah.
hold up, we good.
Hmm. Yes, he would be a great addition down in Atlanta. I really believe it. And Arthur Blank, like you said, he needs to go and write that check. Go
Yeah,
ahead and do it.
they had posted sent a notification about it and Arthur Blank. So I'm like, oh, Arthur interested, huh? You see our situation. You think they can save the season?
Of course. I think
Hey.
and OBJ, he would be glad to be down there.
Yeah, he
He
would.
would be glad to be down there.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Cause he got a quarterback. He would have a quarterback in Matt Ryan that's who play level is way better than Baker Mayfield's like a mug. I'm telling you.
Because Matt Ryan ain't finna miss.
Right. He ain't gonna miss him. Let
He
OBJ
is
get
nothing
up.
left.
Let OBJ get up, get in Atlanta, be open like he was in Cleveland. I'm
He ain't finna
telling you,
miss. He ain't finna miss.
Matt Ryan would throw that ball in his chest like it's nothing.
He had touchdown first game.
And then guess what?
And then
Atlanta.
guess what? Everybody gonna be looking at Baker like
Hmm. He might catch some backlash from that shit. He will. I
he
think he
will,
will.
because guess what? Before Eli fell off, started falling off real bad, he was hitting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was. He just needed.
So,
He just needed that elite quarterback that can get him the ball. Like you said, Baker Mayfield's not that guy.
oh
He is
my God,
not.
he's not that guy. He is
He is
definitely
not.
not that guy.
You put OBJ in Atlanta, and I guarantee you're gonna see big, big, big improvement down there in Atlanta. And I guarantee you it won't be money wasted. Promise you.
Hell no, it won't be money wasted. Hell, and they got the money because they got down let go Julio.
Yeah. You know what
And
I'm
his money,
saying?
they was paying him more than what he was. His contract was 8, and I think they restructured it, so it's probably less now. They got him on wave for somebody to pick him up.
And I'm gonna
So
say
he better
this:
go pick him up.
Atlanta Falcons organization, Arthur Blank,
Cut the
whoever up
check.
in there. This is
Hey Zeus,
you
get out of
better
my program, Zeus. I see your tail, Zeus.
pick up OBJ if you want something to happen. You better
Exactly.
give Matt Ryan that target, and that's all
Because that could
I'm gonna
save our
say.
season. Calvin on his mental break. Kyle Pitts
Yes,
needs some help. Okay,
yes,
Russell Gage is injured. We got too many injuries and stuff. We
yes.
need him. We really do need him. And y'all got the money because
And
you got rid of Julio, so you got the
what
money.
you what you bet Matt Ryan down there? Look Arthur Blank. Let me holler at you for a minute. Pull you to the side.
Look,
You
I
see?
see. Did you see where Buster had shared where Matt Ryan's son said he hate the Falcons? He loved the Braves,
No.
but he hate the Falcons. Child.
I didn't see that.
Yes, he did.
What? You got to be
I'm like,
kidding me.
oh my God. Kids, boy, just be saying some stuff.
They
I'm
can
like,
say some
boy, he can
shit.
barely talk, but he can say that. He can definitely say that.
Mhm. I wonder
I
do his
feel you,
daddy know
son.
this.
I feel you, son.
I know, right? But
Well,
Atlanta,
we have reached the end of our show.
yes,
We
yes,
hope
yes.
you enjoyed our time with us. We hopefully will be back in our regular scheduled time on Tuesdays and Thursdays of next week. I am thinking about live streaming the Alabama LSU game tomorrow evening.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
not
gonna be a
sure
good
yet.
one.
But if
That's
I
gonna be a good
decide
one.
to, I will post and let you guys know so you can have your notification bells and stuff turned on so you'll know, we'll be on. So like, share, subscribe, and we will see you later.
In Atlanta, OBJ,
Go
he's
get
out
it.
there. Go
We
get
need
him.
it.
You need him. Peace out, y'all. Love.